City Central. As always, I am subject. I've got Robert, the penguin,
Hello.
apparently. Wild and Noah, Vic. Uh,
At least I'm not Johnny Vitti again.
well, he's dead.
No,
Yeah,
you get
exactly.
to be Mr. Freeze this time.
I get to be Victor Zaz.
And not to spoil things, but he might be dead the next episode.
We'll see. We'll find out.
So we're here to talk about Gold Summit. We're gonna put about 30 minutes on the clock. 10:45-ish will be done. No, Robert, what did you think of Gold Rush?
You mean Gold Summit?
Was it Gold Rush or Gold Summit?
It's Gold Summit.
God damn it! I'm tired, so that's gonna happen.
We're off to a good start tonight, everybody.
I thought it was pretty good. I think it was a bit more of the cool down, slow down episode that we thought that the last one would be. There's a lot of setup in this one. You know, it's not the most eventful episode of the show, but there are some really big powerhouse scenes here. Some really wonderful acting that we'll get into, and you know, we're just kind of paving the way for, you know, these last couple episodes for a finale. Got all the pieces on the board. There's a bit of a time jump from the last one to this one that I was slightly confused about, where it felt like we jumped like a few weeks to a month, but then there's something referenced later that they're like, "Oh, I saw you the other day," and I was like, "Wait, how much time has passed?" So that was a little confusing, but we're in winter now, and that's kind of cool. But I thought this episode was pretty good and some really fantastic scenes.
We're setting it up. The Batman 2 winter movie.
I know.
Fingers crossed.
As soon as they get to that scene where it's snowing outside, I was like, "Oh my god,
yeah.
This is it. Batman 2 is going to be a Christmas movie. Let's go."
If we get to the end of the season and we're at like springtime, we're all going to be like, "Shit.
Damn it.
Damn, we missed it."
Be indifferent.
I will be
but
so
I hope
upset.
it is a Christmas movie because we can finally have a good Batman Christmas movie.
We already do.
It'll be the second best.
I like Batman at winter. I like snow in Gotham.
Same here.
Anyway, yeah, Robert, Colin Farrell's back to stealing the show. But real quick, Noah, what did you think of this episode?
I thought it was really good. Yeah, it's more of the like setup episode that we were kind of talking about last week. Was this I feel like more so, but it's still a great episode, and I love seeing Gotham during the wintertime, like we were just talking about, and Vic is becoming a much darker character, as we'll talk about later. And Sophia and I really dug the whole Sophia and Sal dynamic this episode too. Clancy Brown has some really good moments in this, where you just forget, like, oh, he's not just a great character actor, like he is a great actor too, like in his own right.
Clancy Brown is a good actor?
No, I know.
Why didn't anybody tell me that?
I know, I didn't get the memo to you soon enough, but he is a good actor, it turns out.
Did you know about this?
Of course, I love Clancy.
I think we should just get into it, because I didn't really organize it. Like, I'm kind of like scrambled with my thoughts right now.
You mean you're not fucking organized? What the fuck?
No, I know. I'm very professional.
We all are. It's okay. We can blame Robert. So basically, this episode is Oz rallying. It's kind of a better Dark Knight Rises, where Oz is like rallying all of the like forgotten gangsters and criminals to his cause to overthrow the rich and powerful Gigantes. I can't hear that name and not think of Resident Evil 4 with the big ass El Gigantes. And the Maronis.
Yeah.
Let's see.
I didn't think about that parallel.
Even Wikipedia just says sometime later, and I didn't realize. So I didn't even realize there was a time skip because I need to watch this whole show again. But no, I like that. She's kind of rooted in where she's taken over Sophia, and Sal is living with her, and like they're working the different angles the Penguin is working, and I like that they find out that Penguin has nothing to lose, or at least they don't think he does, which makes the cliffhanger of this episode so much better.
He's very good at hiding because we've known that he's lied to people and said that his mother is dead, but that's only to protect her. So he's very good at hiding that weakness.
So, question for you guys then: if there's a big time skip, why did they wait till now to break into his apartment?
That's a good question. I guess the assumption you could make is they've probably been there before and like, oh, he's not here and no surprise, and now they're thinking, okay, well, let's go back and see if there's something we missed. Like, I guess you could justify it that way. I'm just
they've never been. It doesn't play like they've been there before.
Yeah, it doesn't really.
Well, like I said, I'm just unclear how much time has passed because the end of the episode is of the previous episode is Oz showing Vic this underground location and like, oh, this will be
And
good
then they
for
have a
our
full
operation. And now we have a full operation. Like now those 2 buckets of mushrooms, like now they have they've like worked out all the kinks. Like they've got a whole system going. Like they've grown a lot of these. So it's like minimum a week has passed, but probably more, but I'm not sure. Again, it's not a major issue. No, I don't think it was a mistake. I just would have liked just kind of a throwaway line.
Specific.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even really call it that big of a time skip, honestly. I'd say at most it is a week.
Which it could be.
Unless it's like 5 years, it's not that big of a time skip.
Well, yeah, because it wasn't really like that noticeable to me. Like, it caught my attention that there was this whole operation going on when the last episode ended with them discovering that area. But it was, I don't know, it was still believable.
Yeah. So what was you guys' I guess like favorite scene just in general with this episode? Mine was the big penguin speech.
That's a good scene.
That's a great scene.
Let him monologue more.
Yeah, and he's got an awesome coat. I really like that coat.
Yes. So I don't know if you guys had
one
this.
Step closer. He's got the cigar.
Yeah. He's got the cigar.
And the hat.
He's looking a lot more like comic book Penguin now with the coat. I specifically thought of Arkham City with the coat because he looks a lot like how he does in that game.
Well, I don't know if you know this, but next episode, Sophia's gonna jam a bottle in his eye.
How do you know this?
Because I played Arkham City.
You read the leaks.
I have amnesia.
No, that's a really good scene. I also like the scene where he's talking to his mother and she's like telling him how if her dementia gets worse, he's probably gonna have to assist in her suicide, which is just like a really heavy scene.
You can't say that.
In her unaliving. Sorry.
Unalive yourself.
Oh, no, don't tell me to do that.
YouTube algorithm was a joke.
That was a joke. That was a joke. Please promote our channel. Don't demonetize us. No, but Farrell and the woman that plays his mom are just really good in that scene. And also, the scene where Vic kills Squid, and then the subsequent scene after that where Oz is talking to him about it.
Squid?
He killed the man. He killed the man who killed the man who killed Batman.
Batman, yeah. he killed Sid the Squid, and then in the subsequent scene when he's talking about it with Oz, and Oz is like, you did the right thing, kid, and they have that moment, and he he whispers to him, "It gets easier," which is a moment that hit me because it's like, oh, this guy, like, I can't tell if he's got no humanity left or just like a little bit, but it's
He's got a
just so
fucking code,
sociopathic.
you know?
He's got a fucking code, yeah. But yeah, I don't know. He's just so sociopathic, and in a weird way, like Vic killing Squid was kind of a rite of passage for him
Yes.
in becoming a better gangster.
Can I
Yeah,
just
because
say
from
how relieving it is to have a protagonist that doesn't have to be the good guy? Like, there is no humanity
Oh
to this
yeah,
guy, but he's still the protagonist, and they don't water it down.
Mhm. And yeah, like part of what's so twisted about it is that it's like, oh, cool, like you're a man now. You took care of this problem without my help. You did it. Like you stepped up. Like I'm proud of you. It's the most. We're kind of back to seeing Oz as kind of a paternal father to him, but in a really twisted way.
yeah.
It's really good stuff.
Yeah. And then what he does to the senator, or the not the senator, that government guy.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Which,
Yeah, I felt that.
by the way, I thought of this. I don't know if John did, because he hates the movie, but I did think of Batman Returns in that scene, just because he was he didn't he
Place
didn't
my nose isn't gushing out blood.
he didn't bite off his nose or anything, but he was harming his nose.
I mean,
So
that,
That's
that
true.
probably is like a direct reference.
Maybe.
But I
I
try
just
to think
always
about
had
that
Batman
movie as
Returns
little.
on the brain.
I think of that movie as little as possible because it's fucking trash.
You're wrong, but that's okay.
No,
Matt Reeves loves that movie, so I can
That's
see
true.
it. It's possible it's a reference.
Possible.
But if we could talk about that scene a little bit too, because what strikes one of the things that like I find so fascinating about Oz in this show is what I was kind of just talking about earlier, where he is at one moment he can do something so cold and heartless and sociopathic like he does in the previous episode where he burns um, Maroni's wife and kid. But he's also like, I think he genuinely does care about what he's talking about to that corrupt guy in that scene where he's like, "Oh, you're
Mm.
stepping on the people of Gotham. You don't care at all about the little guy." I don't know how much of that is just because he sees himself in the little guy and it like that is more of a selfish thing, or he genuinely cares about people. It's kind of hard for me to read him, but he's still such a fascinating character, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
yeah. I mean, I think there's definitely a little bit of a hypocrisy going on where he always paints himself as the little guy, but like he's not.
Yeah.
Like I don't think so anyway.
Well,
But he
he did start from a small place, which we're going to
he
get
did.
into when we get the
He
flashback
did,
stuff
but
with him.
you also have to remember he worked for the Falcones, the most powerful family in Gotham.
Yeah,
You're not.
and that's the other thing.
You're not the little
There's
guy
a
anymore.
No, that's true. He's not. But then there's also a bit of a hypocrisy to him
Which is
too when
truly the worst
he's,
part.
which yeah, that's the word. Forget about the killing and everything. The worst part is the hypocrisy. But no, in the scene where he's at the end, where he has that big monologue to all of the gang lords, and he's talking about how Maroni and Falcone they took everything from you. Uh, but I mean, that's exactly the behavior that he takes part in too. He steps on people to get where he is.
Mhm.
That's what he did with Sophia. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I want to make a small addendum because I finally pieced it together. I pulled up like an episode recap just to refresh. So they go to his apartment because he starts giving the bliss out away for free, and he starts doing
yeah,
that because they murdered all of the distributors. So that's not
Mm.
as much of an issue as I thought. It's a chain of events. Why didn't you say that, Robert?
I don't know.
and I also don't think, like we talked about, I don't think it's that big of a time skip where it's like, well,
Mm.
why haven't they done this by now?
Robert shaved off all memory of this episode with his hair.
The memory is stored in the hair, as we all know.
That's
I
true.
haven't cut
But
mine.
no, I did. As short of a scene as it was, I really like the interaction we got with Sophia and Marodi. Like he's very kind of he's also paternal to her, but in arguably like a healthier way than we see Oz with
Mhm.
Vic. You know, like, I'm curious how much more of that dynamic we'll get to see because he's lost his family, he's lost everything, and now this is just kind of an opportunity to do something. And Sophia is someone he's just never really noticed before. She's also someone who's never wronged him. Um,
Yeah.
so like that they make an interesting pair. Like in many ways, this has gone where we expected. With like, yeah, Sophia is going to be the big bad. This is going to be Oz's rise to power, but that partnership was something that kind of took us all by surprise, and it's just so cool that he still gets to be here because I thought like he might just be in 1 or 2 episodes, and now he's still here, and that's really exciting.
It is, and that also has one of my favorite moments from Clancy Brown in the episode where they're talking about Taj, his son.
Mm,
Like she mentions him while they're eating that dish that he cooked, and he says that Taj always ate it with yogurt or whatever. But as they're talking about him, you can see him like start to break down
mhm.
emotionally, and then he's like immediately like, "All right, no, we got to talk about Oz." Like not letting himself feel that. So
Mhm.
I just thought that was a great performance.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, just a lot of great scenes with this cast. Like we were saying earlier about that scene with Oz and his mom. That's one of the more kind of brutal, realistic scenes we've gotten
Yeah,
with his mom, like freezing in the bathtub and him having to help her out, and her condition is just getting worse and worse. Like that's a very real, grounded moment. And when people say like, "Oh, why does Batman have to be grounded?" Like it's like, no, no, this is what grounded. It's real human
yeah.
emotions and dilemmas and tragedy, and it's really palpable and
No, fuck
beautifully
you.
played by these
We need to go
actors.
back to Batman and Robin.
Well,
And
it's more
Why is the
so, I guess.
penguin making more penguin puns?
Yeah, no. I guess grounded is used interchangeably with realistic, and what I don't
Mhm,
care for is realistic Batman.
mhm,
But
I think people
it,
are just worried because when you immediately say that, first thing people go to is Nolan. It's like, well, we just had that. Give us
yeah,
something more fantastical. And I think they're marketing this trilogy wrong. Um,
perhaps.
there's also just a lot we don't know about how the rest of this thing's gonna look like.
okay, yeah, but fuck you. This is the internet. We have to overreact. We have to panic.
Yeah,
Not part of
but
the plan.
I'm fine with grounded Batman, or having stuff that's rooted in real human emotion, like you were just talking about, Robert. And this show does that really well.
And the scene though, where like you were saying earlier about her making Oz promise to, take her out if because she
Yeah,
doesn't want to be a vegetable for the rest of her life. That to me is potential foreshadowing. If we want to speculate a little on what'll happen next episode, is okay. I'm placing my bets that his mom's gonna die in the next episode. I got a 50-50 shot because we
I
got 2 episodes left, but it seems like that's happening
I
next.
think that's a safe bet,
But
honestly.
what I want to ask you guys is, okay, so the assumption we can make is like, oh, like Sophia will probably kill Oz's mom, or is there some dilemma or situation where Oz has to be the one who kills her, like maybe a mercy killing, like however we get there, because that
I,
feels like what that's foreshadowing to me. That's how I read that was, oh fuck, this might end with Oz having to kill her.
I
Uh,
thought about
Maybe
that, but
I think if you
I'm
have
not.
Sophia in the room and she doesn't, that makes her look incredibly weak.
it just depends on the situation.
Well, I can see her taking Oz's mom hostage,
Mhm.
uh, not killing her right then and there, and then I can't, because I also had that thought, but I can't really think of a circumstance where he'd have to like kill her in that scenario. I guess I'd see
But
how.
she's not out for hostages. She's clearly out for blood.
Um, I mean, he spares his ex girlfriend. She spares his ex girlfriend. That's the other big scene in this episode where we're
Because
all
she
watching this, like,
realizes
okay,
that Oz won't care.
Right, but still, like, she doesn't kidnap her or anything, she just lets her go, but she had plenty of reason to kill her, though, because she was complicit in Oz's alibi, she confesses that, so Sophia comes really close to killing her, but decides not to, like, Sophia is still
But there was
justifying
other
all of her
circumstances with that
actions.
too,
Mhm.
like the kids.
But but you say, oh, like it might make her seem weak if she's not willing to kill Oz's mom. But I don't know if I buy that she would do that if she still sees herself as the good guy in all of this, or as like I could see her saying, well, no, that would make me just as bad as him, or even beneath him. Like I'm not gonna kill his mother. I'm just gonna again, it's just speculation, but I could see her just taking her
Yeah,
hostage, but not wanting to kill her.
because the face, at least how I read it, the face that Sophia has at the end is kind of looks like she's hesitating a bit, or at least she's trying to like come to accept what she's about to do. We'll see
Mhm.
how it plays out in the next episode.
Especially
I
when
think she
all of
kills her, and it's going
okay.
to be, I'm the monster you made. Like you guys think I'm a monster. Well, now I will be that monster you think.
Oh yeah,
We've already
and
started that with the family.
Yeah, but a lot of her trauma is born from the death of her own mother. Like that's a big thing where that's how her and Oz really compare and contrast with each other. They're two sides of the same coin, and is she going to be willing to kill this mother? I don't know.
You
It just
say
depends on the situation.
trauma.
I can see her doing it. Is the thing?
Mhm.
I'm not sure. I can see it both ways because that's the thing is Sophia has done horrible things in this show. Like she killed a kid in the first episode, so
That's true.
I can see her like not drawing the line here,
That's true.
and especially because Oz took one of her loved ones. You know, she's out for
Mhm.
blood, like we're saying. Uh,
I just don't
but
know if she's out for an eye or if she just wants Oz. Uh,
yeah,
you know what I mean?
I think I can see it playing either way.
Mhm.
I don't really know.
I mean, it could go either way, but my bigger question is: does she kill Vic, or has he get away?
I don't know.
Well, she is holding a certain object in that scene,
Yeah,
What was it? I couldn't.
which
I don't remember.
it was a crowbar,
because he's Jason Todd.
because he's
And
Jason Todd,
please.
and Oz had a crowbar in the first episode. He was gonna kill Vic with.
Well,
Mhm.
so wait, does that mean that the next episode is going to open with her beating on an old lady with a
I think she's gonna beat Vic, and then and then take Oz's mom.
Yeah, and again, I'm also trying to kind of step around what I'm saying because I saw the preview for the next one. And I was like, whoa, they're showing a lot. Which is probably just the first 5 minutes of the episode. But I was still like
Yeah,
surprised what they show in that preview, so I don't really want to talk about it.
Yeah, I didn't watch
But
it, so
we'll
I
see.
don't have anything to say.
But yeah, though, but that scene with her, what's her name, Eve,
Eve.
Oz's
Yeah.
Yeah,
lover. Yeah, that
was I
seems
the only
great.
one that forgot about her? Like I was trying to remember what episode she's in.
Oh,
It's
she's
been
been
a
in almost every episode
yeah, we've
up
seen her
until this.
pretty frequently.
Oh, my brain
Yeah,
is
because
fried.
the last time we saw her though was when Oz like went to her apartment to get her to go with him and hide out, and she turned him down, and like that's when he had kind of his little breakdown.
Yeah.
As she betrayed me,
I fed
fed up
up
with
with
this
this
world.
world.
But no, their back and forth was really good, and then Sophia does though skirt that conversation away that is a little manipulative, where she says like, "Well, actually, my father killed all these women, and Oz knew about it and didn't tell you," and it's like, huh, I don't. Again, we're kind of ambiguous enough where it's like, I don't know if that's the case or if I just never thought about it. Uh, how do you guys?
Well,
How did you read that?
I'm trying to remember. I don't think Oz. I think Oz just sided with Falcone so he could get promoted, but I'm not sure
Mhm.
if he knew the whole plan of what was going to happen to Sophia.
And did Oz know that Falcone killed his wife and those women? Because I don't think Oz knows that
Oz
information.
definitely
Or at
doesn't
least
know
it has.
that, and it would be very in character with him to use this opportunity without thinking through what would happen. So no, I don't think he ever meant for any of that to happen.
Hmm.
It was an opportunity and he took it.
Yeah, but that's the way Sophia spins it, which you could tell like really crushes Eve, and is
Yeah.
kind of what breaks her, where she's like, okay, he's in this place somewhere. You know, that's kind of the final betrayal, but you get it. Like, what has Oz done for her like lately? And from how she has heard this side of the story, it's like, oh, do I really have any reason to stand up for this guy?
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I mean, there are no good guys in this show. Everybody's manipulating.
Sure.
We need the Batman.
We don't need him. Not in this show.
No, fuck you. I want the goddamn Batman.
I don't know if you guys thought of this though, but when Vic's like on his motorcycle with the helmet on, I did
Yeah,
think of Bruce in the movie.
it felt very similar. I was like, is this deliberate? I don't know.
You know what could have been interesting?
I don't even
was
know.
thinking about this. It would have been kind of tragic as well. If Vic was that kid that Bruce saved from getting initiated into that gang at the beginning of the Batman.
Yeah, he's not, but that could have been interesting if they went that route.
I know. I didn't say he was. I said that would have been interesting.
Yeah, if they had thought ahead.
Okay, Robert, I gotta ask, what is on your shelf? What decoration is that supposed to be, or is that nothing?
Oh, I've had this before. That's the Batman popcorn bucket. That's all I got.
Hey,
that's all I got. That's
that looks
relevant.
really cool.
It is. Yeah, it's
Tiny.
double-sided. Yeah. So I like it. I should have sang that in the movie.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying that again. I like this episode. It's definitely not one of my favorites, but it has some of my favorite scenes. It has some wonderful performances, and that ending did hit me like a truck. Where that ending with Vic and his mom goes on a long time, and then when I audibly said, "Oh fuck," when I saw Sophia in the doorway. So that was a really good cliffhanger to end this episode on.
I also didn't notice until I rewatched it, but when he starts dancing with Oz's mom, you do hear like kind of like a door being busted open in the background.
Oh, cool.
So that's when like Sophia comes in.
Yeah, and they don't hear it because of the music.
Yeah, because the music's so loud.
Okay, Noah and Robert both. Do you have any other things you want to discuss or anything before to our favorite IGN game?
I had something, but I'm kicking myself right now because I can't remember. I guess maybe
What are you showing me here?
Oh, okay. Well, I don't. This is a different thing, but I kind of want to rant about one character that keeps showing up that I feel like we haven't really done anything interesting with. That's Dr. Julian Rush.
Sophia's boy toy.
Yeah, fully just like her boy toy in this episode, and that's all he gets to do. Yeah, because in the last episode, out of nowhere, he's kind of just like, I want to have what you have. And I don't know. He's just a character I'm kind of confused by. I think he's very underdeveloped. It's not too much of a weak point in the show, but I just wish I could see more of him. I don't really get him so
That's
far.
fair. He's definitely one of the more underdeveloped characters. Like, we haven't seen a lot of him. I think he is set up well in that episode 4, like the Big Sophia episode. Like that's probably his best one so far, where you get the most development from him. But yeah, I mean, I'm curious if we're going to build anything interesting with him in these last 2 episodes, or if he's just going to die.
Well, because I see the seeds of an interesting character with him, because they also go into like, I think it's in episode 4, yeah, when they're talking after the flashback part, and she's like, yeah, no, I remember how you look at me in Arkham, like you reveled in the control that you had over me. So I get that, like, he I understand the logic in him wanting to work with like a crime boss because he can get that level of control back. But everything else, it just seems like he just has the hots for Sophia, and like it's whatever. Like I don't care. I don't care enough about this person. I don't know why we're focusing so much on him.
That's fair. But and just again for final bit of speculation for the next one, since we only have 2 episodes left, I'm predicting obviously we're going to be dealing with the fallout of this episode. I think Oz's mom is going to die, and I don't think it's going to be a whole flashback episode, but I think we will get those flashbacks to younger Oz and what happened to his younger brothers. I think all those things will happen in the next one. I got a 50-50 shot at being right.
Yeah,
and then the finale will be the big bloodbath. So we'll see.
Well, and there's rumors now that Sophia might be a big part of the Batman
2. Which would be awesome. Like, I wouldn't complain.
I would love that, but...
That's what I will say. Because we're all assuming Sophia's going to die. But if she makes a... okay, I'll finish my point, then I'll let you both of you talk. So, if she comes out of this thing alive, then that means Maroni probably dies. Like, that's then probably kind of our big final casualty from Oz's side, is Maroni, if she somehow survives this thing. But we'll see.
Did anybody catch the name of the bridge?
Elliot. Right?
Elliot Bridge, yeah. They've, I think they mentioned it a couple times before, but yeah. Hushed reference, I guess.
I'm kind of worried that that's where we're
heading. Well, Elliot was referenced in the movie. You know, it's...
I think it could just be a nod.
Mm-hmm.
But
Penguin also mentions that the Elliot Bridge was named after somebody like really rich and powerful. So that tells me there is an Elliot family out there somewhere.
Yeah, there's an Elliot in the Batman movie.
But I mean,
who I assume was
like
part of that family.
Society Elliot family, not this guy's a reporter.
But Noah, what were you trying to say a minute ago?
Well, I forget now. But
I was just speculating about what to expect in the last 2 episodes.
Yeah. So I figured that there was going to be, and I kind of want a whole flashback episode with Oz. Now that we have 2 episodes left, I don't think that's going to happen. But it's interesting because I didn't see any of that in the trailer for the next episode. And I assume if we're going to do those scenes at any point in the season, it would be in that episode. I don't think we'd spend the finale on introducing new information about Oz.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe they're just keeping that under wraps. Either way, I'm really looking forward to seeing that.
And one thing none of us mentioned, I mean, Maroni could kill Oz's mom. Like, he's got enough reason to.
Yeah.
And then maybe Oz could kill Maroni.
Yeah, totally. Because I think Maroni is somebody who's more interested in like eye for an eye, revenge, and like I think, and then Oz. I think Sophia just won. But we'll see.
Yeah, it's hard to say.
So the IGN game.
Let's play the game.
All right, time to play the game. All right, excellent. Closed it. All right, Robert, what is your guess for this week's IGN score?
I don't know if I keep saying this over and over again. I'm gonna guess a 6. I think they're kind of meh on this one.
They gave episode 5 and 8.
They give episode 5 and 8, but I'm gonna stick with 6. Noah, what say you?
See, this is harder to predict than the actual show because I was certain last week they would give episode 5 a lower rating than episode 4.
Yeah.
But because I think I'm gonna stick to that original hunch though, because this is kind of more of a setup episode. I'm gonna say either a 5 or a 6. I'll say 5.
It is a 6.
Oh
Noah, you're wrong now.
Well, yeah, I was
even more setup that kills some of the Penguin's momentum, but it's another episode propped up by its characters and our investment in them.
Oh, but I
Nothing
thought
that's
we wanted
keeping
to
the
get.
momentum?
I thought that we wanted to get over the character stuff.
I'm
Get that out of the way.
also used by some like the early IGN stuff. I think from like that initial review when they gave the whole show a 5 or whatever of like, oh, there's too many characters, there's too many subplots that the show keeps introducing. It's like
It's
we're
really
basically
focused.
we're really focused on like the same dozen or so characters set up in the first couple episodes. Like,
Yeah.
I keep waiting for like, okay, when's the new like curveball gonna get thrown in? No, we've just been dealing with basically the same cast, which has been nice. So yeah, I'm just kind of confused by some of those early weird mixed reviews.
It also has a smaller cast than most shows like this. Like
That's true.
it is more focused on
Nobody
like
show them Dexter.
um yeah, because I'd say the main characters are like Oz, Sophia, and Vic, and that's really like the core central characters. Everyone else is supporting cast, I'd say.
Yeah.
All right. Any other stuff that we need to talk about?
I think we've just about covered everything.
Right. Well, thank you guys for tuning in as always. And just a reminder, in case you didn't see, this is the only content that we'll be doing for the next couple of weeks, and then this channel will be going hiatus. Robert and I will be exclusively over on Haven of Horror. Noah will show up when he stops being lazy. No, I'm just kidding.
Yep.
Have a good night, everybody.